All right, guys, welcome back to another Kicking for Three podcast. We missed last week, but we are back this week. I'm at
We
a
didn't miss it. There was a lot of technical difficulties. In theory, we
technical
did it,
difficulty.
but you guys can't see it.
I was going for mine. I'm working actually overnight, so I'm in a different location. But last week we did film a shorter episode because I was really sick this past week. And you were like sick past 2 weeks
Oh
before
yeah,
that,
yep.
but you had no excuses. But I struggled through the podcast, but I made it through. And then whenever we went to export the footage, the software that we used to capture went down. So something didn't work, something went wrong, and there was no podcast last week. I know we're gonna get into what happened with Dallas last week because it was a bye week, but there was definitely a good Jerry rant that was missed out
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah. That week we did miss a really good rant. But yeah, that week that
Yeah,
was Steelers. Jeez, you gotta think back to this. Steelers did win that week,
yeah.
so that was.
You
I
remember
lost in
this, right?
fantasy that week though. The
Mhm.
Steelers played the Raiders, and that was 32-13. Justin Fields won 14 for 24 with just only 145 yards. But we're going to get into the QB talks with Pittsburgh here real soon. Najee Harris had a great game, 14 carries, 106 yards, 1 touchdown. George Pickens was pretty quiet the game against the Raiders, but not much
So
from
he,
Fields really that game. The defense really won them that game, I found.
when are you guys gonna give up on Pickens?
What?
I don't see you guys putting up with this. What place did you guys draft him?
He was like a third rounder.
You guys gave up on Juju so quick. I could easily see trying to get because I think now he is probably the most trade value he
Yeah,
has because
but
I think he's anything.
The Steelers are wanting to win here now or soon because I know I'm even getting sick of talking about this. I really am, but kind of this week, Cooper Cup, the Rams are looking to trade him, and I know I've talked about Brandon Ayuk on this before for the Steelers, and I've talked about Devontae Adams, and I'm not saying. I'm not saying I want Cooper Cup. I'm not saying anything until it happens. But the Steelers are the most potential landing spot for him. And if they get Cooper Cup with George Pickens like that, with Russell Wilson's arm, we're gonna get to that. But that'd be some offense. That would definitely be top 10 offense, I would say. Because George Pickens, as soon as Wilson, like I was saying, Cooper Cup with the Steelers on that offense, I would definitely think that would be a top 5 offense in the league.
Is he
Because
healthy right now?
what?
Because he's having health issues right now, right? And he
Yeah,
has been since
yeah. Ever since
that.
that big,
That's
massive
why.
year, I know. That's why I also don't really want him because he gets
No.
hurt every. I find every second year he gets hurt, and he always
Mm-hmm.
misses the year. He's gone. You never hear from him.
Yeah.
So with the bye week with Dallas, I know you don't really want to re-talk about that whole week, but do you? What are your feelings going in? I guess you're kind of in a weird situation with Dallas with this week. So you
Mm-hmm.
talked about it last week, but now bye week this week. What are your thoughts going in with the banged up 49ers? Do you think there's hope if they can beat the Niners there on Sunday Night Football?
Well, to me that's basically the best blessing we have is that we're now playing a hard 49ers team. So I think that's something that it kind of makes that game less exciting because I think it is so much one sided. But Cowboys are dealing with injuries too.
Exactly.
But I still
Also,
think
it's
to
still gonna
me
be a
I
great
think it'll
game.
be really embarrassing if we lose even more because it's like they had no options. They have no options right now
Christian
for
McCaffrey's
offense
not
basically.
playing. Brandon Ayuk's out for the year. I don't know if Debo's playing because he was in the hospital. He got out
Jennings
yesterday.
not
I
playing.
don't see it. George Kittle's day to day. He could still play, but even if George Kittle's there,
Yeah.
he's just a tight end because they would have no wide receivers.
I
Jordan
hope he
Mason's
does.
good,
Well,
but
I don't care if he. I can't. To me, George Kittle is like probably easily. I hate him more than Mahomes. I know people really hate Mahomes. I hate George Kittle more than Mahomes.
I
To me,
find with
he's a
George
son of a
Kittle,
bitch.
yeah, either
He's
you love
annoying
him
as
or you hate
hell.
him. He is such a
He looks.
love or hate relationship personality. I find.
I don't know.
See,
Yeah.
I
But
love the
I didn't
guy.
like when he ditched when he showed that T-shirt and then they went like they lost 3 in a row.
Yeah,
But
that's
no,
funny.
I hope let's pick. I don't know. I if he plays, it'll be fun to boo him. But I can't stand that guy at all.
I don't
So
even see him playing this week. So the Dallas, what are they?
no,
What is Dallas record right now? 3-4. Yeah, so that's not too bad. I mean, like they win a game, they're at 500.
there's still that's the thing. There's still breathing room. Obviously, we're not in Carolina situation
No.
or Patriots situation where the season's done. But I think to me with the cable work, I was bored. I worked. They have cable at work. I don't have cable. I haven't had cable in like 10 years. I was flipping around. I was watching My 600 Pound Life.
Oh
I don't know if
God.
you ever seen that show.
Yes.
It's sad, but it's also quite like you're memorized by it. And I think what Jerry Jones, the segregationist, um, what he what he needs to do is that doctor who's like he's like a German accent. You need to lose weight.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
You're gaining too much pound. We need that guy to talk to Jerry and explain to him, you can't run a football team. You can't manage a football team. You're a successful businessman who made a lot of money off oil fracking, so we'll thank him in 100 years when we have no natural supplies left. I think this guy needs to be completely done being a manager, and I think to me it's a joke. And continuing, I know I went into it last week. I'm kind of rehashing some of the stuff I said last week, but he is an owner that he came in at like the best possible time because he had 2 wins, but he forced out Jimmy, who was our best coach since I can't remember the like a first grade Cowboys coach, but he was like he's definitely the easily the best or the second best Cowboys coach of all time, and
I
he
thought
lets
you
him
hated
go.
Jimmy.
And
You always say
what?
"fuck you" when you see him on the TV.
Go
I
ahead.
thought you didn't fuck with Jimmy.
Hey, yeah, I don't like him. I don't for the Cowboys, and to me, I think Jerry just can't manage a football team. He's done nothing in this bye week.
You signed.
Nothing
You
interesting.
guys
And
signed an XFL player. That was a great win.
what the hell? I can't
Even
believe
in the bye
that
week,
was
you
our
guys
best
are taking L's.
freaking announcement. You might like, you might as well.
That was so funny when you sent that to me on Instagram. I was at work at my desk,
That's
so I even
an
burst out
XFL
laughing.
player.
So I kind of want to move
No,
into the glorious. Sunday night was, I'm not even kidding, the best football I've seen in Steelers in a long time. I haven't felt like this watching this in a long time. You had the 45th president there waving a terrible towel. You had Renegade playing. You had Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams makeup get completely rained on. Russell Wilson looked great. His stat line was 16 for 29, 246 yards, and 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Najee Harris went for 21 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown. And take a
you finally got a good game at
George Pickens, baby. 5 receptions, 111 yards, and 1 touchdown. Steelers
This
football
is his
is
first
back.
big game.
I'm sorry, Justin Fields' ass is going to be nice and warm on that bench this year. We may see him next year or the year after, but this is Russell Wilson's year to shine. I honestly think...
Wait, let me stop you. Let me stop you. I agree. He did a good job, and to me, it shows that you guys have 2 solid QBs. But you played the Jets. You played the fucking Jets. You didn't play a team that has a top, and they do have a decent defense. But there are no ways. This
You're telling me...
to me, this
You're telling
is
me...
not an elite team. This is a bottom tier team.
Are you kidding? Have you not seen their roster? Do you think a team
They have
with
crazy
Aaron
roster, but it's
Rodgers,
still
Devontae Adams,
It's still
Jared
legit.
Wilson, Brees Hall, Alan Lazard, and you think they are a bottom
To
offense?
me, what is it? Okay, but Russell Wilson
Russell Wilson got a
isn't
really shitty situation.
dealing with those players when he's throwing. To me, this is exactly it was a fluke win against a bad Jets team, and they've been terrible for like they've been blown up since they signed Aaron Rodgers. and now they're trying in any way possible to try to try to make that investment worth it, and
Still can't
it's
do
not
it.
paying off for them. To me, if you to say what you're saying about Russell, he has to prove himself against a better team. Do you
Okay,
agree?
he's good at. Well, he can't do it this week. This week is pretty easy win. Next week though, we got Baltimore after the bye.
So if he can beat Baltimore, I'll be very, very impressed.
Okay, what
I'll
do
be
you,
very
do you
impressed.
think he's beating the
And no
Giants on
one,
Monday night?
yeah.
That no, man, you gotta understand. Do you even know what really happened to Russell Wilson last year? Sean Payton benched him because they didn't want
With a
to.
concussion or whatever.
No,
Yeah,
they
Sean Payton
they
did.
faked his injury. They didn't want to pay him because if he played all the games, they would have paid him a bonus. But the Broncos didn't want to do that, so they forced him on the bench for the last game of the season, just so he doesn't get his money. And then they shipped him out. I find that's messed up. That dude put all year, all past 2 years, you could even tell he did work pretty hard in Denver. It's just Sean Payton cannot coach a quarterback. I find like Russell Wilson. He needs a Drew Brees.
No,
He needs a Drew Brees.
no, but
He needs a shock.
that's a
He needs a
shot.
shotgun, sit in the pocket quarterback like Bo Nix. Russell Wilson needs to move. Russell Wilson needs to hold the ball at the C. See, he needs a nice shotgun quarterback, and he has it in Bo Nix. So in Tomlin, this is Tomlin's game.
First half, Russell was not looking good.
First, man, he hasn't played since Christmas Day of 2023.
Do you agree? The first half for Russell,
It was rust. It was complete rust because Jordan, he hasn't played since Christmas Day in 2023. Think about that. That's almost a year.
yeah, I guess so. But
It was only the first half.
it wasn't a great game through. He picked it up. He picked it up. He picked it
Yeah,
up.
you went. You
I'll give you
went.
that.
You went to a little bedtime anyway. Second half, you didn't even see it. So
No, I watched. I was like, I was. I actually. I wasn't like watching it, but it was passively on in the background. So I was kind of paying attention. As soon as the Steelers started
take it over.
beating Jets, I was like, "Fuck, okay." But it was it was decent comeback, kind of right? Because it was wasn't it? It was 6-13,
Yeah. It was like
and
at
then
half. It was
Steelers got a
weird.
TD before the half.
Well, the Steelers had 31 unanswered points. That's not Steelers football. That is not at all. If it,
But it's not that I mean, the Jets are obviously they're continuing to stay relevant. But I see,
well, that's
to me, they
Rodgers.
really seem like a team. Was that?
Rodgers is always has to stay relevant. Even when he was hurt last year, he was saying he's going to be back by Christmas. He knew he wasn't going to be back by Christmas.
I know. No, yeah. Well, I think what's happening with the Jets because their team to me has like so many good players on it, but it almost reminds me if you ever like play a lot of franchise modes and you've done a lot of like random like where you can can't remember the name of it where you can
You could
set
do
to whatever
the
team you
fantasy
want.
draft.
Fantasy draft.
Yeah.
And to me, it reminds me of like when you just get a lot of like crazy good players and stuff, but they have absolutely no chemistry. To me, there's like they're not building a team. They're just kind of
Well, this is what it
it's almost like
reminds
a
you of.
basketball team.
Yeah, this reminds me of the 2021 Brooklyn Nets. Remember Kevin Durant and they had all
Yeah.
those people. Steve Nash
Yeah.
was coaching. It just didn't work. Like you need to have chemistry. You can't have a bunch of superstars trying to be the superstar because that just leads into the worst possible outcome on a team. Someone always trying to be the hero.
Yeah.
Like that's just awful. So
And then also too, they're kind of they're like I understand why they wanted to get oh shit, I can't forget his name 17
which one? Devontae Adams.
on the Jets.
Adams.
Devontae Adams. I understand why they want, but he is to me. It's like if you're trying to make smart, why get a 30-year-old QB
40-year-old
or wide receiver, a 31-year-old? Yeah, to me that's like I don't know. That's two steps back because to me there's no.
Well, he's not going to be there.
I don't receivers it's a young man's game.
It is like I don't understand why like Devontae Adams even did that to begin with. Like he went from a 2-5 team to a 2-5 team, and do what I absolutely love. So last week, no, a couple weeks ago now, did have the Steelers play the Raiders and they destroyed them. Devontae Adams was technically on the team still, and then next week in the against New York. So Devontae Adams basically lost against the Steelers in back-to-back weeks. I find that absolutely hilarious. Like it was all by more. It was all by like 30 points too.
That's stupid.
That's so messed up.
That's one thing. It's a trend, maybe in because I don't know if it was as big. Obviously, like sports in the past 20 years has gotten insane money and insane deals have popped up and stuff. But it seems like that's one thing I don't understand. It's like he decided to sign that big of a contract with the Raiders, and then he gets all what's wrong with me? They're not building a team around me. Well, it's like to me, you could have chose to take less money, go to a more competitive team, maybe stay with the team that you were with,
Well,
but you decided to go get the paycheck.
The Vegas outcome was really bad. So after Brock Purdy kind of stepped his foot into the San Francisco's lineup, the Raiders picked up Jimmy G like that because they thought that they had a good quarterback because how he played with the Niners. But you could throw in a McDonald's worker and he could be all right with the stacked, healthy 49ers team. It's true. But as soon as you see Jimmy G thinking that, oh, he's going to be the superstar, he's going to be the playmaker, like his receivers are not going to make the plays for him. He's ass, and then he got caught actually taking steroids. Now he's a backup for Matthew Stafford. So like, it's just a whole shitty situation. I find they can never have any good luck. Even like their Ruggs, Henley Ruggs the third. Everyone knows that story, the DUI charge and everything. That guy was supposed to be a top tier wide receiver, and now he's in prison for the rest of his life. It's the worst outcome the Raiders got in decades. I just feel bad for past Oakland fans in general. Like, oh, it's so bad.
Yeah. They got completely boned in the past 5 years.
Yeah, like they got completely
But
gutted.
I know it's obviously not football, but I was quite disappointed this week that we didn't get the Subway World Series.
I know, but
Sadly, the Mets
it is still pretty cool that
wasn't able to close it out.
You got Judge and Otani battling for the first ring in their careers. I find that a pretty good storyline too. That's really cool. The two best, the two faces of baseball are battling.
When's game one?
Friday. Yeah. I hate how MLB does it because they do all the marketing shit. You gotta do all your photos with the World Series badge and everything. It's so stupid. But how you feeling in fantasy with the past previous 2 weeks? I think you and I kind of have the same 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm 2-0 right now. Back-to-back wins, barely scraped by. It was a very close win against Cage. Shout out to Cage if you're listening.
We gotta get him on.
But no, I was so close because we both had two players playing on the Monday night game because they were separate. It was Baltimore and then who was the other team? Cardinals and
Chargers.
I can't remember who the Cardinals were playing. Chargers.
Such a stupid game.
Chargers to me are the most like forgettable team in the NFL. But it was so close. And I got completely screwed because Daniels went down.
Oh yeah.
He definitely was going to because I think got taken out in the first quarter.
Yeah,
and it was
if that game was close, Jalen Daniels would have been back in that game, 100%. Because he came back onto the field. Yeah, he's not hurt. He's not hurt. He's not missing it.
That's the thing. It was like as soon as he got hurt or enough that they're like, all right, we're not going to risk you. It was like, okay, well, they're playing Carolina, so they can set up the backup and heal.
Yeah. I think
he got like 2 or 3 shots.
I hate when my fantasy quarterbacks do really well at the start of the game because then there's such a good chance they are getting benched if it's like the fourth quarter and they're up by like 25. I hate it.
Yeah.
But I had last week. Last week I kind of demolished my opponent there because we didn't really talk about it. We did talk about it last week, but we all know the story of our footage. But I have Devontae Adams and Amari Cooper on my team, and they got traded last week. And Amari Cooper is gonna save my ass. I don't know about Devontae Adams. I'm starting him this week, but Cooper with Josh Allen, it's looking real good. I think I have the best wide receivers in our whole league. CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Deontay Johnson, Amari Cooper. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good squad.
Yeah, I'd say I have a pretty decent receiver core. Although Waddle's been awful, but
no, Tua's coming back this week, I believe. He's playing Sunday.
Yeah,
he may have to throw him.
I know. It's gonna be optional if I'm gonna put Waddle in because he seems even still with Tua. He wasn't doing
Brady
good when
loves
Tua
him.
played the 2 games.
Tua loves him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's his main guy. Oh, did you hear about the trade today?
But,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, I'm hoping.
Dion.
Wait. I'm trying to remember it. Uh, fuck. It was it was
DeAndre
my
Hopkins.
number 10. Number
DeAndre.
10, Hopkins. Yeah, I
I'm
thought that was a
pissed.
very
That do
another
what
wise.
that kind of
That's
reminds
so
me of.
annoying.
That reminds me of Randy
Was
Moss on the Patriots. Like the old
yeah,
like
yeah.
superstar wide receiver
That's a
now with
very
the old with the new good quarterback. It's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If Hopkins isn't picked up in our fantasy, but I think he is, he would feed in Kansas City with Mahomes,
Yeah.
and this is actually going to open the door
No, I think
for
that was.
Travis Kelsey more too. So this
Well, I think you know what's so interesting because the Chiefs obviously have been a dynasty in modern football, but like the players absolutely hate the owners. Like
yeah
they have like the worst out of all the league. They had like the worst rating, grade rating that like the players gave to the. It was like a survey that went around the league, but they are still able to make smart moves because they actually have a manager running their fucking football team. We're stuck here with some geriatric Jones, and I don't care what I don't even know. Remember what his grade was? I think he was like one of the elite grades. He charms every oil baron in Texas, but it to me it's just a joke. That's like it doesn't matter how your ownership group is, as long as you have a good manager, a good coach, you can make some serious things happen, and that's something that the Dallas Cowboys are allergic to of recent.
exactly. I want to actually talk about this because this is a very interesting stat, and this is actually crazy. So the NFC North. Do you know what every single one records in that division is? Starting off with leading the division, the Detroit Lions are 5-1. The Minnesota Vikings are 5-1. The Green Bay Packers are 5-2, and the Chicago Bears are 4-2. What kind of like? That's an insane division. That's the best teams in football in one division. Think about that. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
insane. And now, if you're looking at, I just have the standings up. If you're looking at Dallas, they're third in the East. So that's tough. See, Dallas is 3-3 actually, so they're not 3-4. They're 3-3.
Oh right.
So the
Yeah.
Eagles are 4-2, so the Cowboys can still catch up to them easily. But the Commanders are five and
Yeah.
two, and that's a team that's
I know the
always at the
Commanders are
bottom of the.
really good.
I find that's the team that's always at the bottom of the barrel on the NFC East, and that could hurt the Cowboys there with Washington sticking around up there. Even for the
Mm-hmm.
Niners are 3-4, but second place Cardinals are also 3-4, and then the Seahawks are 4-3. So the Niners are still well alive in their division too, which is crazy. That division
I was
sucks this
shocked
year.
to see Seahawks. I was surprised by them this year. I did not think they would, with the like loss of not having Pete Carroll anymore and stuff. I thought that would affect the team a lot more, but I'm been surprised. They've been, yeah, I don't think they're a contender, but I think they're definitely a pretty good,
Yeah,
still pretty
I could
solid
definitely see
football
them
team.
make playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I can see the playoffs.
Oh, and then you look at the AFC East. The Bills are gonna run away with that. You got Bills leading 5-2, and then you got second place the Miami Dolphins at 2-4. And then in third place you got the New York Jets at 2-5, and then you got the 1-6 Patriots. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Okay, out of those three teams, Patriots, Jets, and Dolphins. What team do you think could change it around? It could maybe not make playoffs, but at least maybe get to 8 or 7 wins.
Jets
Yeah,
by a
you don't
million.
think Miami could? If you were-
Eh. See, Miami. This happened to them last year. Do you remember how hot they were last year? And then when it got cold, a little colder, and Tua had to go play, not on the beach basically, his arm sucks in the cold. You search it up, the stats are brutal. No, no, Miami's always done. They're always pretenders. I find they're just always so fake. The Steelers division, this is an interesting division, the AFC North. You got the Ravens and Steelers both tied for first with 5-2, and then you got the Bengals 3-4. Then you got the Browns one and
I think
six.
Ravens are plenty.
What? What'd you say?
I think the Ravens are going to clinch it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the Ravens are going to clinch that division.
The Steelers won it last year, surprisingly, with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Then the AFC South, that's a decent division too. You got the 5-2 Texans, the 4-3 Colts, the 5-2 Jaguars that I personally think should not be 5-2. I mean 2-5. Sorry, not 5-2. I think they should have a couple more wins at least because I find they're a pretty good team.
What,
And
do you think your coach is bad?
yes, that coach is an idiot. And then you got the Titans 1-5 with Will Levis. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the leagues.
Oh, I had a few good runs.
If you showed
I was
someone
watching
this
him.
3 years ago, you would think that the league is like drunk. How messed up this is from just a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
Like it's wild.
Well, actually, we did mention reminded me, but now I guess Watson. I know everyone is saddened by the news that he's injured. He went down with it's an Achilles, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think his career's done. I think he's done.
You know, you don't think he'll come back?
No, I think he shouldn't come back.
No.
It's over for him.
Yeah.
I think it has to be, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know how it can get any worse to be a rapist, assaulter. We're not rapist. The way he was like before that scandal went down, like he did look like he was going to be one of the top
Oh,
two-way
yeah.
QBs.
Goddamn right.
He was like an MVP candidate or like debated one. I thought one
Yeah,
year.
that Texas team, they had J.J. Watt, they had DeAndre Hopkins, they had like Watson, like they had so many.
Pierce.
Yeah, Damian Pierce. Do you remember that running back?
Mm-hmm. He's our coach now, right?
Yeah, he was a beast. He was a great coach. So this week, Steelers got the Jets. Steelers got the Giants. My bad. That should be a quite easy win. I find. I don't think you're going to see as big of a splash.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see as much points put up. I honestly think it's going to be a pretty boring Monday Night Football. I can't even watch it. I'm in Moncton, but I think it's going to be like 20-6.
You're a Moncton?
I'm in Moncton. Sebastian.
Really?
Risking the Steelers for him, so that's really interesting. So,
I would much rather watch Sebastian Bach than that game.
So Niners, Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. What are your predictions?
I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm going to keep my emotions stable by not believing in the I believe in them, but I think to me, I think this win is basically being served to us on a silver platter with the injuries and the 49ers having a terrible start anyways. I really hope maybe we can get like 3 interceptions on Purdy, but I could see this game going really good or absolutely atrocious and me raging for 4 hours.
Definitely, yeah. I like the mindset going into it. Really?
Yeah, that's how it feels this year. There's not much hope. There's not much.
Well, this has been.
I
find they got to win this. They have to.
I know.
They have to.
I thought Detroit was going to be a lot closer a game. It was a complete blowout.
Yep.
A complete blowout.
Well, this was another episode.
I don't know. I can never predict it with this team.
Exactly. Well, this has been another exciting episode of Kicking for 3. We are definitely going to try to not miss another week. I hate how we just completely just have that blank. So we're definitely going to try to not to do that again. We're really going to get that going. And we definitely going to get more topics. I'm going to try to find some, in the future, definitely some trivia questions and stuff for you. That'd be interesting. Just know your knowledge. That'd be fun. And I'm actually...
All right, well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Oh.
No.